Well, it's one of those public domain stories we all know and we all love. War of the Worlds has finally gotten a proper remake after 20 years. It is one of the public domain movies, so there's been a number. 3 in 2005 alone.
Yep.
This is one of those timeless stories told over and over again. But this time, in true H.G. Wells fashion, it's a screen-to-life film starring Ice Cube. Aiden, what's the plot of War of the Worlds parentheses 2025?
War of the Worlds follows Ice Cube, a man who sits at his computer in front of a bad green screen of a room in the NSA, or whatever. That's like it's just like a room with like 5 desks that no one sits at. He has his own office. He hangs out with the president, who's busy golfing.
No, that's just some guy. The president's in the Oval Office.
Yeah. No, it's like the head of state that's at the golf course.
Mar-a-Lago.
Fucking Phil Coulson's the director of the Department of Homeland Security. He's buddies with some chick from NASA who just every 10 to 15 minutes she calls for a little exposition update. Let us know how the plot's progressing. He's got a daughter and a son. And then when he's chasing down the super hacker, the aliens come. But this time the aliens want to eat all your data. Thankfully, all of the most trustworthy people on the planet, the Department of Homeland Security, which can hack your Tesla and spy on you through any camera, and can hack your computer and can steal your cell phone and can call your cell phone, and they have magic cameras everywhere and they just fly drones everywhere spying around on you, don't want your data to get stolen. Facebook, infamously great at protecting users' privacy. Amazon
Google does
little.
integral services that save the planet.
Yeah, Amazon
Frankly.
literally saves the world with their MetaQuest-powered delivery drones that can survive laser blasts from a giant alien spacecraft capable of surviving entry into Earth's atmosphere. So what do you think of that, huh? You know? Those aliens were whizzing past Katy Perry when she was on the Amazon spaceship.
Yep.
Connor, what'd you think of War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds 2025 is a new terrible piece of shit. There's a lot of movies that we say are the worst, and a lot of the times, at the time, we believe it. And I'm sure we'll say it again.
I don't know if we will.
It never stops. It never stops getting worse. But this one has a lot of low lows. For one,
This
the moral
might be
of
the
the
worst
story.
movie.
Let's look at the moral of the story. Ice Cube is the fucking guy. He's like a low-level Department of Homeland Security guy, but he's the only person who works in the Department of Homeland Security. And he's friends with every government agency. You have secondary lead character Sandra from NASA. She is. Why they picked NASA, I don't know. Because she does a little bit of everything. She dies like 3 times in this movie.
She's friends with an NSA agent who actually dies in the movie.
There's the FBI agent who dies in the movie.
He hangs out with the president. He hangs out with
Yep,
Agent
the
Phil
president.
Coulson from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agent Phil Coulson is corrupt. But he's spying on his kids. He's trying to make sure they have a good life or whatever.
He's hacking
And
their MacBooks. He's stealing Teslas. He can do
He's mad
anything. He
'cause
has all the government surveillance in the
after
world.
his wife died, he became super surveillance, and he was surveying his kids. And even though he watched his kids 24/7, he never really saw them. So Ice Cube's daughter starts dating a white boy. She gets pregnant by an Amazon delivery driver.
Even
A
though
story as old as time.
Well, you also have to know-
PhD biologist daughter, deadbeat Amazon Prime wagey
yeah,
husband.
her husband makes
piss in a-
$16 an hour pissing in a bottle in the Amazon truck since he got promoted from the wagey cagey, and she's the top biologist in the world capable of reprogramming alien DNA to kill it.
Well, that's right, but that's not relevant until after the movie when we learn that she did that via Tucker Carlson tweet, unironically.
And a Joe Rogan tweet.
Yeah, Joe Rogan made a video essay, actually, it appeared, not
about
a podcast.
How badass Ice Cube
about
and his
how
son
bad,
were, yeah.
Ice Cube and his family are. The son, he thinks he's a deadbeat loser who does nothing but plays video games, but what he doesn't see is that he's also a super hacker. So as time goes on and this threat happens, Ice Cube sits on his computer via webcam making faces at the camera without speech, because I think they just kind of dragged and dropped reaction shots and then had him ADR all his lines. But
he starts speaking a little towards the end.
There's a couple specific scenes on the webcam that Ice Cube has, but for the most part, most of the shots are like, he'll be like, okay, I need you to hack NASA, then immediately cuts him to doing this. Sandra from NASA, and she's like, these are data collecting robots because I'm also a computer. I'm a computer engineer. I'm a hacker. I work for NASA. I'm a biologist. Look at this DNA. And then you have these giant CGI robots coming around that kind of look like H.G. Wells' original designs, and they are crushing people around town, causing a diversion, a super terrorist attack, which causes the world to come together to fight. And Phil Coulson from the Avengers vaguely wants to...
He wants even more surveillance.
He wants more
surveillance.
And Ice Cube's like, we can't be giving up our personal liberties for surveillance. And he learns that that's bad. And the only way he learns that he can do this is by hacking Tesla's... typing his passwords in for everyone to use via Microsoft Teams. Literally, there's a scene where Ice Cube has to buy a flash drive off Amazon so that his Amazon Prime son-in-law, Weiji, can fly a drone via MetaQuest VR, but then it gets hit out the sky by a 75,000-ton alien robot, but the drone is so durable because it's made by Amazon that it survives. And then they have to pay a hobo $1,000 Amazon gift card to flip, but they hack the hobo so that he knows that he's getting $1,000 into his Amazon wallet so that he flips the drone. But then Ice Cube has to upload the computer virus because the computer virus will kill half the robots, and then off screen the daughter creates a biological weapon that kills them the rest of the way, like the original story ish. In
a way.
When I was watching it, and I mean, you can kind of make fun of stuff where you're like, what if you know. Imagine showing Batman versus Superman to the guy who created Batman. Imagine showing this screen-to-life Amazon advertisement to H.G. Wells in 1895 or whenever he wrote this shit. Like, imagine just fucking zapping this into his brain. Pulling up with a 65-inch OLED TV, pulling up your Amazon Prime account and showing him this. I think
he'd probably die.
He wouldn't understand. It would be more shocking than if Jesus Christ himself got reincarnated. He couldn't fathom what he just watched.
He'd be the coughing baby in the classic coughing baby.
And it's not like the Tom Cruise and
hypothetical.
Steven Spielberg one where it's like the broad strokes but modernized. This is hyper modernized. It was also shot in 2020
and sat on a shelf
and
for
sat
5
on
years
a shelf
until
for
Amazon
5
wanted
years.
their investment back.
But the thing is, it feels like Amazon's gave them X amount of money to produce the movie, or maybe they're like, we'll greenlight this to go on our service if you shill Amazon super hard. But it was originally produced by Universal, and Universal was heading the project. But then I think it was so disastrous, they gave up. But I'm thinking like Tesla, which you see like a 2018 Tesla,
God,
and the 2020 Tesla or whatever in this.
Also, the only
Amazon,
satellite that doesn't get
Google,
destroyed is the Starlink satellite.
Starlink satellite. You got YouTube in it. All the
Facebook's in
major
it a
tech
lot.
conglomerates threw money towards this, and it's just slop. It's just it's a mess. It looks like it was shot on I think everything but Ice Cube costed around $200,000. Then I don't know. They probably paid Ice Cube like $700,000, putting this just under a cool $1 million. And what they took from tech companies as advertisement must have just been staggering. The only reason they published this movie was to finally fulfill the contract so they didn't get sued out of their fucking earnings that are probably came and spent since 2020, the millions of dollars dumped in them. But Amazon was probably we're not putting this out unless you're giving that hobo $1,000. And the thing too is it's so vague because it's all done through ADR, and there's minor webcam bits. They had concepts of an idea, then everything else was just shittily slapped together.
It's pretty much just reaction shots of Ice Cube doing streamer poses where he's throwing his controller on the ground and he's like, damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually really horrible.
It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Hands down, one of the worst.
It's so confusing too, because the narrative doesn't even work super well. There's this general plot of Ice Cube spies on his son and daughter, and then eventually learns that not only is spying on your kids bad, but government overreach is bad too. You should just give your data to business like Facebook Google. And Amazon on this Amazon Prime original, Google, etc.
Yeah, so don't trust the government, but you should trust Amazon.
A little sweet.
Their drones can survive a laser beam.
It's a little sweet that the biggest tech conglomerates in Silicon Valley all came together to make this movie. Meta, I'm sorry, Facebook's in it quite a bit too. I forgot Meta. So you literally got all these Fortune 500 fucking massive tech companies advertising in this slop movie. That's about data protection. All you need is TikTok in there to really come together. I did joke at one point when the daughter was bleeding to death because she was having her baby or whatever.
She got stabbed in the leg with rebar when the alien shot her with a laser.
Okay, so she's laying bleeding to death in the back of a Tesla. And Ice Cube's preserve the last of your battery, and I was like, this would be the perfect time for a TikTok ad because she's laying in the back of the car, and well, when women don't got anything going on, they go to TikTok.
Oh, she also survives the rebar. Ice Cube says, "Don't pull the rebar out of your leg, or you'll bleed to death." And then for some reason she pulls it out, but luckily her Amazon boyfriend shows up with a roll of Amazon packing tape, stitches her leg back together with it.
It's egregious. The Amazon advertising's the worst. I feel like they're we're not going to put out this movie unless you make some amendments. And they probably had so much money from Google, Facebook, and Tesla. Elon's conglomerate, Starlink, the whole Elon suite, that they were we have to put out this movie, otherwise we're going to get sued to oblivion. And then Amazon's you're going to make a tourniquet out of Amazon packing tape. You're going to have a Amazon wage slave who isn't pissing in bottles but actually loves his job. He's going to put on a MetaQuest VR and he's going to fly around the fucking drone. You're not going to show the scene where he was fired for being insubordinate, for not just continuing to deliver packages during the apocalypse,
You're not going to show the scene where... Well, he doesn't get fired, but he gets 6 months in the wagey cage and then gets crushed by a forklift.
You're not going to see the scene where Jeff Bezos and his weird-looking wife hop on a super yacht and sail away from the alien invaders, to a super bunker in the floating Africa,
Right.
Like 2012, the float in Africa. You're not going to see any of that. So it shows Amazon in a really good light. Life-saving. It's ridiculous. But one thing that doesn't show Amazon in a good light is the fact that they are willing to publish this giant piece of shit. No one was good in it. Like I said, Sandra dies and it disappears, and Ice Cube's like, damn it, Sandra from NASA. Then an hour later, unexplained, or 20 minutes later, she shows back up unexplained Then she dies again. They fake you out again. She's like, damn it, I lost Sandra. And like 10 minutes later, she's like, I'm actually alive. The only person that dies is like Sarah from the FBI, who looks, talks, and walks like Sandra, but is not Sandra, is a separate character. Her death wasn't the fake out. She actually dies. I don't know if she didn't want to be in the movie anymore, or if they were trying to raise the bar a bit by killing off Sandra too. But Sandra comes in right after Sarah of the FBI gets killed, or whatever the fuck her name was. So it's fucking ridiculous. This movie's ridiculous. Aiden, what did you think of War of the Worlds (parentheses 2025 edition?
Strong contender for the worst movie ever made. Screenlife, already an awful genre. We're off to just an awful start, but 90 minutes of Ice Cube doing like Markiplier stream overreactions on top of computer footage that shows like it's all just stock footage. It's like, here's some footage of military people walking because they're all gearing up to fight the aliens or whatever.
They even blurred out some of the clearer faces in the stock footage.
Yes, they did. Or it'll be like tsunami coming and the tsunami stock footage with the alien standing behind it really badly superimposed, and Ice Cube's sweater and curly little hair is getting caught in the blue screen. You can see the little blue particles floating around him because he filmed this in his bedroom.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is shot on blue screen. Virtually all of it. The only person I think didn't shoot on a blue screen was the son. And then they did a fake out where it's like, I was shooting on a blue screen, I'm not at the house, after they fake out his death when his house gets bombed or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the Ice Cube's house is the only spot that wasn't.
The son has a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure wall scroll in the background. Because the kid who filmed this on his webcam had one in his background. Agent Coulson is shooting in his home office. There's some guy that got to just stand in a golf course and say his lines. He only has like 10 of them, it's fine. Then the President of the United States appears in one scene, just sits like this. He's an extra. And he wasn't union, so he couldn't speak, so the President doesn't say anything. But
he's like, Ice Cube, you're the most genius man. You gave me an elevator pitch via Zoom, and we're going with it. We're running with your
I like the part where Ice Cube's daughter's like, Dad, you have no power, you're powerless. No one can stop what's happening. And then the President calls up Ice Cube, and he's like, Ice Cube, what's the plan?
Yeah, he ends that call so that he can answer a call from the fucking President. And also, what's like funny is
a lot of power.
Ice Cube is practically on the presidential cabinet. He's got his fingers in every fucking branch of government.
Yeah, the FBI
and he shares his no one else is in his office in the movie, but his office has
desks.
A couple vacant desks. Bro doesn't even have his own office. Bro doesn't even have a cubicle, and he directly advises the president. He has an open concept closet office with 4 other people. Who I guess took the day off or something. Everyone was on PTO but Ice Cube. Yeah, I guess.
They were all working from home.
I think everybody, I guess PTO or I guess everyone might have been furloughed except Ice Cube, maybe.
yeah. It was like when you were furloughed at the movie theater.
I wasn't. That was the problem. Everyone else was furloughed.
Oh yeah. You're right. It's a huge piece of shit. It's a huge piece of shit. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It is just wall to wall, an awful idea, awful execution. Just it's hard to say anything about it. It's also really boring. Like, it is a Screenlife movie about a guy watching newsreels. There's a part where he's watching the news, he's watching CNN, and a plane falls out of the sky, and it says planes falling to their death, which doesn't seem right to me. I don't think that's how you would phrase it.
No.
The plane's not the one dying, you know.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. There's a point where like all the all the like boats and stuff are getting grounded. Like, there's like that isn't at all contingent.
How is that tied
on
to a government
anything.
data center? And even if it was, once all the government data centers went down in
It's
the
a
world, why
boat.
wouldn't you like put down your anchor?
You might lose GPS, but I feel like realistically, what people would say is if you're like totally blind in the middle of the ocean or near an island, like, hey, maybe throw down an anchor for now and
Also,
rescue
some of the
efforts,
news
especially
footage-
as like numerous ships are getting beached like whales.
It takes place in DC and it's broad daylight, but they show like news footage and it's like there are riots happening in New York and it's pitch black outside, middle of the night, fires raging. Why is it night in New York and day in Washington DC?
Who knows? It also the timeline is also pretty vague because
I have
how
no
they
idea.
frame it is it's like this is real time, but like.
It sure doesn't seem
So
like
an
it.
entire alien invasion, infrastructure breaks down, millions die, and it all takes place over 90 minutes while Ice Cube does because Ice Cube's changing call to call, tab to tab. There is no cuts, you know? I mean, there is. But I mean, hypothetically speaking, the movie, like, what we see is Ice Cube in real time, so the timeline doesn't really make sense.
Maybe they cut out his government union mandated like 15-minute breaks every 25
Really,
minutes.
the whole alien invasion was like 75 minutes. Because when you think about it, you cut out... The movie's 89 minutes long. You cut out credits and opening, blah, blah, blah. That makes it like 85. But then you got to consider the first like 12, 13 minutes of the movie is pre-alien invasion. So really, the entire alien invasion, which we see in real time via Screenlife, is about 72 minutes long. It's the scariest hour in human history. Most disastrous hour.
I don't know what to say about it, man. It is just everything. Every single second of it is wrong and awful.
NASA lady's off screen for like 5 minutes, and she does the whole like biological DNA and
she
microscopic
finds little
breakdown
alien
of the
ladybugs and starts
ladybug,
ripping them
yeah.
apart, and she's like, they're half biological and half robot. And it's like, how'd you know that? You're a NASA employee, don't you like do something else than whatever you're doing in this scene? It's incredible how bad it is. I think it's a strong contender for the worst movie ever made, and certainly released, wide released, worst movie ever wide released. It is so fucking bad. Connor, would you recommend War of the Worlds?
No. Aiden, and I'm gonna frame this. If H.G. Wells came back in time, walked into this apartment and said, "You recommend to me that new Amy's Own Prime Ice Cube starring War of the Worlds movie," what would you tell him?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I would. Yeah, this movie's it's the it's funny.
It's hard to compare
Like,
to anything.
it's awful. It's hard to compare to anything. It's worse than the Facebook ghost movies, which
The
are
thing
already
is,
really bad.
I have never seen nearly this egregious of product placement.
No.
That's kind of how I heard of this movie.
This
So people were
outdoes
talking
everything,
about the
and-
egregious product placement.
This outdoes product placement than anything else I've ever seen. There's not even anything I can think of that's close outside a food fight.
Yeah.
You have to see it. It's so fucking weird and awful and hilarious. Like, I think I have to recommend it. I think more people need to be exposed to whatever the hell this is before it gets taken offline for being such a ridicule. I think.
See, I would argue that
recommend it.
it's not worth it.
I would.
It's not funny, dude.
It is funny.
It's funny, but it's not funny enough, dude. Not funny enough to subject myself. I felt like time was in a vacuum when we watched that movie. It felt like we watched that shit for 6 hours. No. watch.
You're not wrong, but
Absolutely.
how many other
abysmal
movies do you get to
experience.
watch an Amazon drone get shot down by an alien spacecraft?
It doesn't get shot, it gets rammed by the leg of a 65-ton alien spacecraft that's as tall as a
Yeah,
skyscraper.
you're right. That's a little more reasonable.
But they had to pay a homeless man $1,000 Amazon Prime gift card to. So,
Yeah. You know.
they tried to offer the homeless man free internet for a year, like he didn't live in a tent.
You know, where are they gonna deliver it, bro? His tent on the side of under a bridge.
You know, hook up the fucking Wi-Fi connector.